Day 2 of our prospecting trip began at the crack of dawn. We were headed to the claim which would serve as our home for the next 2 nights. The claims we would be visiting belonged to Frontier Gold Prospecting out of Congress, Arizona. We were following Bob, and he was on a mission to get there and to get things set up so we could go start prospecting. The roads were rough, but old scrap iron kept up just fine. The terrain was a little dicey getting to the claim, but the setup they had was pretty darn slick, and it was in a perfect location. Located in the valley of a dry stream bed, it provided both morning and evening shade, and always seemed to have a steady breeze blowing through. They had set up a heavy metal canopy which provided a frame to strap tarps to so we could avoid the scorching desert sun as it crossed the sky. Since it was still early and relatively cool, we would set up camp, go poke around with the metal detectors a bit, and then go over to another private claim they owned, which was a proven gold producer. Once we got camp set up, we headed up the hill to swing the sticks. Although mostly desert, Arizona does have some beautiful country. We were in a slightly higher elevation and getting up into the mountains. Flora, fauna, and all types of geologic marvels were all around us. Quartz veins, like this small one, and some much, much larger, were everywhere. Travis was hunting with a Fisher Gold Bug 2 that day, and I was using my trusty Garrett AT Pro. Unlike back in Kansas, we were hunting for gold instead of coins, jewelry, and relics. So we didn't use any discrimination settings, since small pieces of gold could show up as a very low reading, and a larger nugget may result in a higher reading. Plus, there was very little trash to contend with, and we wanted to hear everything. And we dug everything. We only spent an hour or so detecting, since we wanted to go do some digging before it got too hot. So we loaded up and headed over to the claim codenamed the Quartz Vein to dig. They pulled a fair amount of gold from this claim, and Bob felt they were just now getting into the pay layers. When we got out of the car, you could definitely tell there had been some mining done around here. There were yards upon yards of tailing piles neatly stacked up. This day, we would be digging in a hole which Bob felt had a very good chance of yielding gold if we could just get to the right layer. Since there was no plan of operation filed on this claim, we were limited to using hand tools here. So the digging began in search of the elusive pay layer.
Guide. So, what are we doing?
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to classify material out of this area here. They've been working for about 3 years now. And we're going to fill some buckets up with classified material, bring them up here and put them in these buckets here, or these tubs. And then we're going to go back and put the material in.
Travis has a nice little hole he's dug here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, man.
I thought it was coming down.
Got caliche, little high point right here. It drops off towards the back and then drops off here. So he's been kind of digging this hole out. We're classifying everything down to what, a 1/4 inch or a half inch?
1/4 inch.
And he doesn't seem to want to stop.
Well, yeah.
But that's okay.
Here's where it's the mother.
Where's the nugget? Maybe we should swing the sticks over this when we're done.
We're kind of at our limit.
So show me that little red streak again there.
Well, I kind of knocked it off, but you can see a little bit right there.
Right in here. And it runs right up under here.
Just knocked
right
it
up
all
under
out.
there. You can see it right in there by that white rock. Right there. It runs all right along in here.
That's where we're going to find the gold.
And then down here too.
Yeah, there is one.
You can see it here.
After digging and classifying for a few hours, the temperature began to climb. We had loaded about 13 buckets of classified material before we decided to head back into the shade and run it on a recirculating sluice to see if we were on the gold.
Let it wash down. You see how red that stuff looks still. Just keep feeding it like this. You don't want to feed it any faster than that, because you can feed it too fast.
Yeah.
If you feed it too fast, the bottom down there fills up, and then the light gold will wash right off with all the stuff on top.
So what, like about one every 10 seconds or so maybe? Or?
Yeah. First, and then you take this off carefully, and then run it through the water.
Yep.
And you want to make sure that this always goes back on with the slant. See how the slant, the top of it's going downstream?
Gotcha. So that's
If you
more
do the other
ripples.
way around, it's the dry washer.
Right.
Dry washers are this
Oh.
way.
I didn't know that.
Falling.
Water machines this way.
I got you.
Dry washer, all the air's blowing up through, all the heavy stuff's getting caught this way, like in a wedge, caught. Here, the water flows over. As it creases over, all the heavy black sand and gold gets sucked back in underneath these, right behind every one. And that's why a lot of times when you clean the machine out, at this stage, you really don't see much. But sometimes if you look good enough, there's small flakes and stuff in there. But you can see, this is where all the black, see all the black sand right here?
Yeah.
That was under that ridge, this big ridge.
You can see those all the way down.
Right there, right there. And there's black sand stuck in every one of these with the dirt.
Maybe some-
There's a bunch of black sand. This was just above it,
Yeah.
where it settled above it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. Do you have carpet in yours?
Yep.
So do you like roll this up and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
rinse it out?
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's the same then. That's good. So you're familiar with it.
Yeah, we're familiar.
Even you rinsing it out, you're not getting all the really fine gold out of this.
Yeah.
They'll take this and put it in a metal pan and they'll burn it. They'll light it on fire and let it burn. And then they'll pan the ashes. And they'll pan the ashes. And just finish cleaning this out. Because if you don't clean it out, it won't go back together.
All right, so the anticipation got the most of us. We're going to go ahead and pan this out to see what we got.
Here's the bigger stones. Hopefully there's pickers or nuggets in there. These are good pans. These are Garrett Super Sluice
Yeah, we
roll
saw
pan.
those.
They work really good.
Nice.
Plug. Good job.
Wet washing, dry washing, 15-inch.
Yeah.
They're about $20.
You heard it from the pros.
Yep. Best pan. Best pan.
Got our little safety pan set up here.
Yeah, this is, you know, I like doing this because what I end up in this pan that I'm holding is we end up calling it the black sand. Look at the black sand in there.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of it.
There's a lot. We end up calling this, what ends up in this pan, black sand, and this red dirt.
I got you.
But there's still black sand in this. And there's, once you pick all the gold you can see, there's still micro gold. And there's pieces of black sand that have encrusted gold. So the only way to get it out is chemicals or furnace. And I've got 3 5-gallon pails full of black sand that are ready to go in the furnace. There's something here that I'm going to show you that Mel started doing. I don't know where he got it. You may not have seen it. A lot of people have never seen it before. But we call it back panning. And once we get it down to good black sand like this, we'll shake it up with clean water. And basically what we're doing is washing the last bit of red sand out as much as we can, so it's really nothing but black sand in the minerals. So we'll let it settle like that, and I'll tip it up like that, and then just
Put all that black sand in there.
do this, get everything to settle at the bottom like that, and then back pan this off into your
Get rid of the red stuff.
catch, get rid of the rest of the red, and you see that black sand holding right
Sticks
there. It just sticks there like glue. You know, it's pretty cool. It just
That
sticks
is.
there like glue. So here, all I'm going to do is we just want to see if we got anything. And it shouldn't take long to start seeing it. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see some.
Look at that.
It's a nice little
Yeah, it's a good little piece, isn't it?
little piece.
There's another piece just popped up.
Yeah.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be
More
another
believe
piece
in
right
it.
here on this side.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
there. Now, is that bigger than what you get back home?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We get little. I mean, it's ours are somewhat hard to see.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, those are.
We had a guy come here from Georgia, and he first pan he saw this, he was up dancing. He goes, "My trip's done. I don't need any to do anymore." He
found
goes,
some color.
"We find super fine." He said in
that's all
Georgia
we
they
find.
find super fine flour.
That's all we find.
There's quite a few small pieces in there.
There's a couple guys that have found some little pickers.
No, I'm not too impressed with that. There is a good number of pieces, but I would have expected bigger pieces. But you can see all the flour right here
Yeah.
running up through. all the flour.
Little flour pieces.
So that's good. I mean, that's a good pan.
After running only one bucket of classified material, we found several small flakes and a lot of very, very fine gold, also known as flour gold. This was only one bucket, and it was from before we finally hit the red pay layer. We were really excited to run the rest of the material and see what else we had. Stay tuned to the second half of the Rich Hill Gold Prospecting Trip Day 2 for the rest of this prosperous day. And don't forget to visit www.highplainsprospectors.com, where you can buy anything from snuffer bottles to gold trommels.